Okay, sorry about that. I was having a conversation about Asian food. Because, as I mentioned before, my wife grew up in a Thai family. So she's used to all this Asian food now that we have three actual Chinese students, not like born and raised American Chinese, not like actually full grown ass Chinese, like from birth to now. So Chinese students in the house. It's brought up her joy of Asian cooking again, so she's been cooking a lot of Asian food. So apparently, who am I in combat with, man? What is this shit? Apparently, she made jiao and Asian sausage, and asked if I want any. I was like, probably. You're gonna have to tell me what the fuck is jiao. So it has been a hoot up in here. Anywho, so yeah, I was gonna do like I wanted to get creative with it because like one thing since I was talking about poison that like it's always kind of like just a standard with what's the I can actually try to farm these ones too. Bullshit. What's the standard with most Final Fantasy type games, you know, RPGs in general. When you get a boss, like, what can you not do to them, right? You can't poison them. Like all bosses, like, are usually immune to poison. They're like immune to everything. You can't blind them. You can't poison them. You can't do this and that. And I wanted to be like, no, fuck that. You can poison a boss. You can poison. You can blind a boss. You can confuse a boss. You know, you can do all this. However, they're gonna have resistances to it. You know, like you can do it. But you know, like if it's like a super hard boss, not just like a typical boss, but like actually like a super hard boss, they're probably only going to be poisoned for like one or like maybe not poison. Like poison's going to do like maybe half damage that it would in normal targets, maybe even less. They can still be blinded, but it's only going to last for like like maybe 2 turns instead of like the usual between 3 to 5 or something like that. Or maybe even just 1 turn, and instead of like 50% chance to miss, it's something like a 20% chance to miss. You know, like you can still do it to them. It's just not as effective because they're stronger creatures, as you would expect. You know, in these games, you know, a boss is much stronger than your average mob, so you can't do exactly what you could do to them. But instead of being like, that just means they're immune to everything, it's like that's not fun. Like, so that way you can't create like a poison class or stuff like that because they would do nothing against bosses, you know? So instead, you know, like let's open that possibility up, you know? You know, what can we do with that, you know? That really excited me. As well as some of the classes that I created, like a blood mage has low like every stat except for health, kind of has a lot of health, but you know, cost health to cast abilities, which I don't think you've ever really had in most RPGs, like cost health to cast abilities, which of course is not new to the game whatsoever. All blood mages usually in anything, like in there was even a blood mage form in Dragon Age, which also costs health to do certain stuff. But it's like, so like you can't auto attack, there's no standard attack. Instead you have like a blood sucking ability which takes health from the enemy and gives it to you, and pretty much it's like you blow a lot of your health to damage the enemies, and then you have to keep using that to suck your health back in, unless you want to have like the healer dedicate, like, you know, focus healing on the blood mage, so the blood mage can just go crazy, you know. You could I just wanted to create like a bunch of different combos, you know? Actually, next time I record this, I'll try to see if I can get my sketches out. I have different abilities and whatnot, so I can talk about it in more detail. But what I really wanted there to be a reason for doing stuff, and doing one thing or the other and whatnot, and just kind of a lot of different combinations you could go, because you can only have like maybe like I think 4 characters, but there's like gonna be like 10 to 12 to choose from. So you start at the beginning of your game and you choose your characters, and then you go out throughout the game with those characters. And so that creates this kind of replayability, because not only with the characters all be different and unique and could cause different play styles, but also the dialogue and maybe some of the events might be different in the game based off of what character you would have. Like, obviously, this would be a lot of fucking work, which is probably why it never really went anywhere. But like, it just sounds fun. It just sounds like, you know, as like a lot of producers and stuff say that they're like gamers, you know, oh, I play the games I make, and you know, I'm a gamer. But then it's like, I feel like they do stuff. It's just like, does this feel fun to you? You know, like how, like it's just like this. I feel is fun. I'm coughing. I gotta drink some water or something. Like, but you know, how can you make it fun? Like, what do you enjoy seeing? Like, when you play games, what do you feel like? Oh, I kind of wish it was like this, and you could do that, you know. And I don't feel like a lot of creators actually do that, or maybe they're not given the liberty to do that. Maybe they're just like, no, bread and butter it because that's what people are gonna want. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta take a sip real fast. One second. Oh, fuck yeah. Barry, baby. Alright, now we gotta kill a bunch of withered giants. I don't know why they didn't just tell me to do that the first time, but hey, you know what? It's whatever. It's whatever. So, what was I saying? Hey, yes, you too. You can come join the party. Let's go bring your friend over here. You as well, sir. Yes, good. Alright, so Mind Blast into a Void Eruption. Boom, boom, shield, more of that. Drain, and kill. Awesome. 3 down already. That's how we do. That's how we do. That's how we do. I don't need you. Get out. Get. Oh no! No! Let's fly. Yeah. So I wanted there to be a reason to do the things that you do, as well as have a lot of creation. So what I mean by do the things you do, like, you know how like in a game, especially some of the younger Final Fantasies. Where they didn't create like, oh, this thing's weak to this type, or this thing's weak to this type, you know, so it does like double damage or something. Before they had that, like, it really didn't matter if you cast fire, or thunder, or blizzard, or water, or whatever else it comes with. It was like, they were all interchangeable. It just depended on what level, like, fire, Fyra, or Faraga, you know, which one of those you use. That mattered, but it didn't. You could just, they're all interchangeable. Like, that just kind of feels stale to me. I want to be like, there should be a reason why you use certain spells. Not just because, oh, it's weak to this type, so just use this type. Not that. Like, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is, like, they gotta do something unique. Like, there should be a reason why you choose fire. There should be a reason why you choose ice, thunder. And so I created a shaman class. This is just kind of one example. I think I was doing something with this, but like the shaman, I had like, you know, kind of like a lava attack, an earth attack, thunder attack. So the thunder would, you know, typical chain lightning shit, you know. It's not like unique, but there's a reason to do them. So like, you don't have to reinvent the game, but there should be a reason why you're doing what you're doing. And so the thunder attack would obviously chain to random enemies. You didn't really get to choose. So that was kind of the thing. But if you chose to use fire, I think like fire, it would attack one enemy, but it would like melt their armor. So for the next like 2 or 3 turns, they would have like 5% reduced armor or something, you know. If you hit them, I think actually that's reversed. But anyways, if you hit them with your earth strike, or earth spell, whatever it was, I don't remember, it would reduce their magic resist by like 5% for a few turns or something, you know. Like, there should be a reason why you do the spells you do, you know. And so there was a reason to not just be like, okay, I'll just chain. Well, it's like, okay, I want to shred some armor off the tank, so I'm gonna hit him with my earth spells. Okay, how about some magic resist off, you know. I don't remember which one did which. I know I switched it up there, but yeah, I don't remember which one did which. But you know, there's a reason. Like, if you hit them with a blizzard spell, it's gonna like slow their attack speed or something, or you know, it's gonna reduce the amount. It's gonna like skip a turn for them or something because they're slowed or something. You know, give them a reason for why you're doing what you're doing. You know, that's what really excited me. as well as some changeability with the tanks and the healers. I remember I had like 3 different versions of healers and 3 different versions of tanks. Let's start with the tanks. The tanks, there was a tank that had like super high defense but had very low attack. So he was pretty much all about keeping himself alive and keeping all the damage on him, but he didn't offer anything in the way for actually hurting the enemies. And then there's a tank that's kind of has lower defense, kind of moderate defense, but the damage increases a little bit and has certain abilities like you can sunder the enemy's armor and stuff like that. You know, reduce, you know, kind of have some things that will help even the playing field and take away the fact that take away the fact that you don't have the highest damage in a certain position. And then the other tank, of course, like everything about him was about no armor to speak of whatsoever. Like, not, you know, a little bit exaggeration, but kind of like that, that sense of it. To where, like, already don't have the greatest armor in general, can't wear like plate and shit like that. Can't wear the heavy armor. But on top of that, like, you could do tank things like taunt the enemies to attack you. But when you do that, you taunt all the enemies at a sacrifice of 25% armor on yourself. So, you know, pretty much, but, so like low damage and actually a lot of their tanking abilities, or not low damage, low defense and all their tanking abilities actually reduces your your defense even more, but tons of damage. We're talking a berserker kind of character here. You know, so that kind of cool shit. And then like the healers, you have your typical healer, and then you have the shaman could also heal as well, and who the fuck else was the healer? Cool. Oh, there you are, Blackstein. What's up, man? How's it going? I'm trying to think. You had a typical like white mage, holy priest kind of healer. Then the shaman was also a healer, and one other class was a healer. Don't you blacken my blood? What the fuck even? Yeah, you still damn. All stats by 10%. All damage. Damage taken reduction. Damn. Wait, isn't that good for me? Yeah, but it decreases my stats anyways. So, weird. Anywho, we need some idols. We're just gonna fly around grabbing some of these idols here. Almost to 64, which is good. I like that. It's shaping up to that. I mean, we're gonna get close to 65. If not 65, we'll get close to 65, and I'm okay with that. So it's looking good. I don't really want to fight these people if I don't have to, but I think I'm going to have to for a majority of this. So I guess let's, you know, game on. I guess 58. That's sad. I guess we'll just keep fighting him. I'm trying to remember who the other healer was. I think that Hank was also a healer, because I think the high tank was like a paladin, so it could also heal. I think that's how that went. So that gave you an option. Like with the healers, the paladin was the he was, it was like a low style healer. He can't use any like big healing spells, but he can do like enough healing. So kind of with that healing mixed with some items, you can easily keep your team alive. That takes the tank roll and the healer roll, puts it into one, so you can have 3 damage dealers kind of thing, you know, if you so choose to. If you think like I can handle it, I can just use items and the low healing that I get from the paladin to keep everyone alive, and the paladin can just take everybody, you know, tank everything and just focus on healing himself. Just be, you know, like a super tank, you know, like I'll tank everybody, take all the hits, and just focus on nothing but healing myself while you guys just nuke them down. You can go with that role. The shaman, it does a moderate amount of healing and has stuff like chain healing, which will heal like I think like 3 random targets. So like I think it's the target you choose and then like 2 other random targets. So you can't guarantee that or actually I think it was just 3 random targets in general. So you get to heal a lot of people, but you don't get to choose who those people are necessarily. So that was kind of, you know, it's give or take, but also just kind of some standard healing. So it's a moderate amount of healing. It's not like what you would think of a healer, but it actually does have some healing to it. But at the same time, it's also a moderate damage dealer. You're not a heavy hitting damage dealer, but you do damn decent. You do more than enough to kill enemies pretty easily. So it's like a medium, moderate level healer, but also a moderate damage dealer. So you can decide like, hey, my healer is also going to be a damage dealer. Instead of having like this person just focuses on healing, and that's it. You know, you could have you pack your healer into a damage dealer, or you could go with your all-out like typical white mage, just like has like the protection spells and, you know, straight up full-on healer that you would expect and probably would want, but doesn't really have much in the way for damage. Will have a few damaging spells, but they don't really hit that hard, kind of thing. They kind of just do small amounts of damage, but you can use them to attack when you're not healing, but that's like, you know. So pretty much I wanted there to be like a lot of variation. Like I want to use, you know, I want a different combo. You know what? Like full on damage. My healer is going to be a shaman, so I can heal, but it's not like, maybe it might not be the most ideal healing, but I think I can do it well enough. Ooh, Teledor's done. What are we done here? 3 out of 7. Not bad. Almost. About 3/4 the way. This is 64. And we still have a few quest chains open. We need fenced. Oh god, this one's going to be hard. But we can make it happen. Yeah, so let's say like I'm going to have a tank that's not really the best at tanking. Because it has low defense but does a fuck ton of damage, and my healer also does a fuck ton of damage, but moderate amount of healing. You know, you can go for an all-out damage team, or you can have your typical like full-on tank, nothing getting through him, taunts everybody, takes all the damage, and like a healer that that's just focuses, does nothing but healing and keeps everyone alive, and 2 like super heavy hitting damage dealers, and just keep everyone off of them so they can just go all out and like have the blood mage in there so that the tank can just tank everything, and then you can have the healer just keep the blood mage up and do massive amounts of damage for sacrificing its own health, you know, kind of stuff like that. Just kind of like get creative with it, and you can go anywhere in between there, you know. So obviously, as you can hear in my voice as I'm talking about this, I'm super excited about it. Like, just the concept is like, this is fun, you know. This sounds like a game that I would have a lot of fun playing, because you actually get to do these creative, unique things. You actually get to play the game in multiple different styles, not just, okay, I kind of feel like doing this with, oh, I didn't skin those people. I kind of feel like doing this, but I don't really have many options, you know. I have like, I just have a few different DPS, typical white mage healer that I guess I could choose not to go with, but if I do, I have no other heals, so it's all items, so that might come back to bite me. It's like Final Fantasy 1, to where it's like, you go the black mage, you go the white mage, and then any other 2, and like one person with high health. I think there was 2 people that could have high health. One person with high health, and then whatever other one I might be feeling, the monk or the ninja or whatever the fuck. I choose between one of those 2, and that's like it. Those are my only options. That's like usually the only choice I get, unless I want to say, okay, maybe red mage, and I just heal and damage and this, but that's about, you know, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of options. Instead of like, I could have like possibly 10 different combinations with these teams, you know. Some, like, you know, just get some uniqueness in there. So that's what I was trying to do with this, and I was working on some of the details. I was still trying to figure out some spells or attacks and abilities for, I think, like the gunslinger or whatever. It's typical range marksman kind of thing, and you know. And then I was thinking about in-game stuff. I was thinking that it would be interesting to almost have like talent tree specs in a sense. Like there's like some really hard, there's some really hard in-game bosses, and if you go through certain like quest chains that don't really become available until after you've beaten the quote-unquote final boss, then there's like quest chains and stuff that will be for specific classes that can get you different armors. Like different armor sets or something like that. Oh, why am I fighting those guys? I didn't need to fight those guys. I'm not focusing. I'm not focused. That it was specifically designed for like say a blood mage, and like it'll make you like learn different abilities or something. Like you learn specific abilities, but lose other abilities. So it's like talent trees or something like that, or just kind of specific armor that's like super designed for them that will help gear you in a sense for like the super hard optional in-game bosses kind of stuff. You know, it's kind of cool stuff like that I was thinking of. So obviously I have all the game design part of the game. Did I not skin that motherfucker again? I swear to fuck. So obviously I have all the game design aspects kind of down, especially since I don't have to actually create it. It kind of has its own creation tool, you know, which is kind of nice about having an RPG maker kind of thing. I'm limited to what I can do, but however, I don't really know how to do all that programming and shit without it, so kind of gives me the option to be kind of a minor league, I guess I would call it, game designer. So, okay, I just need these fin striders. Their goddamn tentacles. Just hand them over. It'd be so simple. So yeah, I feel like I got the game design part down. I just don't have this. I just can't really create a story necessarily. You know, I'm not that great at creating stories. We need to go through these. They stroll around these thin little water trails. So we need to go around here. Here. So yeah, working on that. I was also creating some of the animations and whatnot for certain spells, kind of working on the scaling for health and whatnot. I was gonna see what armors and stuff would drop, so it's not always just, oh, how you have to buy it, but you could actually, armor and stuff could drop from certain mobs and stuff, and I was gonna test out, you know, start doing battle testing and stuff like that to see what stages of the game, what monsters would be too hard or would be too easy. So somewhere down the line, if I ever get really back into that and whatnot, I might start live streaming the process through it. So that could be interesting. That was a long-winded way of saying how that could be really exciting and interesting. So what we're gonna do here, because I got lunch. I guess technically it's not lunch, it's kind of dinner. It's late, isn't it? It's lunch for us. We're late bloomers. Not late bloomers, but we're people of the night. Just not the prostitute version. We like to be up late, so it's kind of like a dinnerish lunch. I actually might go hang out with them, and I think we're gonna play games and stuff. Sounds like they're all back. You know how Asians love to do different things. Let's call it that. They like to kind of like whenever we go places, we like to do touristy stuff. Well, we asked them like, hey, you guys have any plans today? They're like, yeah, we're going to this town, you know, so and so town, to ride on wooden horses. It's only $2, so we're gonna drive like 45 minutes to ride on wooden horses. And after some translation, my wife discerned like, oh, they're talking about carousel. So they drove like an hour and a half, two ways, for a to ride on a carousel. So that was just yes, got a tentacle. You skin? No, you ain't skin. You good. I think this person's on the same quest we are. So yeah, they drove an hour and a half to ride on a carousel for $2. So that's funny. I like that. I don't need those guys. I don't need the sport pads. I need big boys. Yeah, this person's definitely on the same quest as I. So we'll give him a chance to run over here. There you go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Ah, oh, you little whore. Something I'll look through a few more games later and whatnot. Have some more conversation about what I may not do later. For now. But anyways, yes, lunch, and I might go hang out with them. So once I'm done getting this goddamn fell striding whore tentacle, then I'm gonna go take a break for a little bit. We're almost 64. We still have quite a few quests to go through. I mean, I hope we have quite a few quests to go through. We have not gone to the Harbridge yet, which probably is only gonna be just like Teldor, like 2 rounds of a couple of quests. Oh, you bitch ass motherfucker. Here we go. Boom. We also need to take a break. My ear needs a break. My ears, I guess, need a break. My throat needs a break. So that'll be good. And we'll come back, see if we can finish up questing here, maybe. Then probably head out to the next area, I assume. Probably end there for now. But yeah, see if we can get 65 tonight. That'd be pretty cool. Probably play some Neo. I do need to do my little recording session of, since we're going to be done with just Hearth, it'll be easier. Yeah, do my little small video of Shadow of War so I can upload that so you guys can see why I haven't been doing anything with that lately, because it's been sounding weird and whatnot. But if it does sound good when I put it together, then I might record some of that too, so you never know. Anywho, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate us turning this quest. Obviously, I'm just getting my outro going and going. Yes, I remember going there. So next time we will go over here, do that, and then see where the questing lies, where all of our quests are going to bring us after that. So let's jump into the inn here. That's where we came from. And I will see you guys next time.